Jesus Christ came to Kerala or South India and founded 7 churches. We all know there is no differences in the name of or head of churches on that time. There is only a Christian community. St. Thomas founded Niranam Church as a Christian community here. St. Thomas came by means of ship. We know in the 1st century, Kerala is very famous in business, and St. Thomas came to the famous Thomas Kadav near to here, only 2.5 kilometers from here to west. And St. Thomas founded a Christian community here and baptized so many people to Christian. And we can see the ghat in front of the church where St. Thomas baptized some Hindu families to Christian families. And after that, a Christian community here. We all know in various parts of the world, Christianity or the faith of Christianity has broken the chain of the tradition somewhere else. It's because of war, poverty, like that. But in India or in Kerala, from the 1st century onwards, here in Niranam or Kerala, we have Christianity without a break of that chain or tradition. We are sitting in this church. This is the 4th church building of Niranam Church. 4th church building. We don't know about 1st and 2nd church building. We don't have enough knowledge or we don't have enough evidences of that first 2 churches. But from the tradition we can say that it is like a temple, Hindu temple. Niranam Church and Tiruvangod Church, both churches are under the control of Orthodox Church, and that Tiruvangod Church is a dicto form of traditional Hindu temple. And maybe the 1st and 2nd church maybe like that, maybe like the Tiruvangod Church. But we have an idea of the 3rd church, which was found on 1259. 3rd church, and the parts of that church which was built up of wood and stone, which were here we can see after saying the history of this church, we can see there the parts and the artworks with wood are we kept there to see and we can understand the history and tradition of this place. We can see the stones which was the doors, windows, and everything was built up of stones, and we can see the parts of stone here, south side of the church. We can see after this we can see that too. This church have 5 altars. The main altar is by the intercession of Saint Mary. Second one, Saint George, Saint Behenna, and Saint Thomas and Saint Stephen. This church building was built on 1912, consecrated on 1912, In 1896, the Saint Gregorios of Parimala, who was the saint of the Malankara Orthodox Church, under the leadership of Parimala Tiruveni, a meeting held on this church decided to build such a big church on that day. The height, width, and everything of this church, which was built by the instruction of Parimala Tiruveni. We can see 10 arches here by stones. This was built by a paste which came from a fish called varal, and the white form of the egg. And such type, we can say this was a traditional architectural model of a church. This was the fourth church building, and these 5 altars, and this church contains 1,500 families here. And we can see a Smriti Mandiram there out of this church, which was very ancient, and 600 years ago that building has the that building is constructed around 600 years ago. And there we can see the relics of St. Thomas, which was instituted there around 2004, which we took from Mylapore and Mosul, and the Catholicos Basilios Matthew II instituted the relics of St. Thomas on that Smriti Mandiram. After that, we can see 3 doors. On that doors, inside that door, the traditional gold cross kept on that room. And once thieves came here and tried to theft that cross from here, gold cross, about 12 kilogram gold cross. And at that time, they saw Saint Mary present here. They saw Saint Behanan here, and they tried to run. After that, they took the cross from here, and once the police caught them, and there we can see a newspaper there. On that newspaper cutting, we can see the news which came on Malayalam Manorama on 1916. The news is about the thief give the answer to the court, which they came to theft this cross, and they saw Saint Mary, they saw Saint Behanan, which was not said by any Naraman people, but the thieves give the statement to the court that they saw Saint Mary and Saint Behanan on this place. The 2 rooms are very sacred to this place, that Saint Mary and Saint Behanan. We saw the miracles in so many people's life on that place, and so many people came to pray there. On 3rd room, there is a pallakim is there, which was used by Parimala Tiruveni. After that, inside the church, inside that Smriti Mandiram, to the next room, we can see so many traditional articles which are used in the church. After that, we can see a small room and a small bed where Parimala Tiruveni lived, Parimala Tiruveni slept, Parimala Tiruveni prayed. That room, that small room, and the bed, and that room kept very sacredly in that place. After that, we can enter to the another room, and there we can see so many parts of the third church. The artworks with wood and the paintings which have the very ancient paintings before 900 years ago. And after that we can enter into a small door to downwards. There we can see palm leaves which were used here to write the history and the accounts and about the deeds of the church in that palm leaves, which was from 17th, 18th century. You can see there. After that we can see the boat, bullock cart, and some farming articles. After that, here we can see an art gallery where we can see the heads of Malgara Orthodox Church. There is a photo gallery there. After that, we can see some stones kept there. That also the part of the third church. And this was the small history of this church, and the main events which occurred in this church were written in the granite slab there. You can see both in Malayalam and English. You can read there, and which will give more information to you people. And there is a documentary called Mother Church in YouTube. Mother Church. You can search in YouTube Mother Church, and there is a good description about the history of this church. And another important thing which related with this church is the baptism pond of this church, which was located in the south side of the church in front of the altar of Saint Behanan. And that baptism pond is made up of one stone, big one stone. And there we can see 3 crosses. The first cross is simple cross. The second cross is Nirana cross, which is drawn like, or which is installed in the stone like this picture, which shows Jesus came from heaven to earth. And another interpretation of that cross is the people of heaven, angels, praise the Lord, and in the middle people praise the Lord, and the small people like humans praise the Lord. And that is another interpretation. Another cross which installed in this baptism pond is Iron Cross of Nero. And we can see 4 faces in one cross. We can see the cross at every direction, and where we stay and look, we can see a cross. All direction, from all direction we can see the cross. That is called Iron Cross of Nirana, which was installed in the top of the altar outside, and the gate of the top of the gate of the front gate. And these are the brief descriptions about the church. You can see so many things there in the art gallery and museum there.